What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while, but here's my face. Here's my new place. Here, let me see. You can see a little bit of it. There we go. And, yeah. I'm not going to turn too far over here because there's a glare off to this side right here. There's a window right there. Anyway, what's up? For those who don't know, somehow, despite clicking on this, I'm Adam S., GM of the Austin Copperheads, handler of your boy, Dick Wizardry, general all-around malcontent, grumpy old man, smartass, and sex goblin. So this is going to be my Ultimus, because I don't feel like writing 800 words about stuff. There's really no better reason. It is what it is. So let's jump right into it. No more need for preamble, I guess. First topic is going to be playoff review. I'm going to review the Ultimus game, or some people might call it the smashing. Because holy shit, that was the most embarrassingly one-sided game in Ultimus history, possibly league history. We consider there might be regular season games that were worse, but they didn't have the weight or the implication. Because Jesus, Baltimore came out and it was like they had built up all this pent-up frustration from their 26 Ultimus losses over the course of the league's history, and they were going to smash it all on the San Jose's face. And then they did that, and then they kept doing that, and then at the end, they did a little more. So this game starts out pretty quickly with Baltimore just scoring fast. Nine minutes left to go in the game, they'd already scored. So the scoring wins in the first 6 minutes, which, as we know in Sim, is not the quickest time, but it's a fairly quick time. You usually don't. And the thing with that is, though, the Sabercats got the ball first. Quick 3 and out, nothing happens. Right back to Baltimore, and then boom, touchdown. So really, the first time they had the ball, touchdown. Like, not even like, it wasn't even like one huge thing, or San Jose didn't do one stupid defensive play. It's the typical Baltimore Hawks style. Grind, 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 score. It's what they do. It's what they've always done. And in this particular game, it just hit. So, nothing to said for that. San Jose didn't get out of their own side of the field the entire first quarter, I think. They at least managed a couple not quite 3 and outs, which is nice. Oh, no, I am wrong. With 19 seconds to go, they managed to get to the Baltimore. They did somehow manage to get to the Baltimore side of the field on the 49, although the recap really doesn't show how. 2nd and 6. Oh, there it is. They had a 40-yard pass. Okay, and then they had some penalties. They fucked it up. They got sacked. They got sacked back out of scoring position. They were at the 34 at one point. Theoretically, a field goal was at 52. 34 plus 10 and 7 is 52, 51, 51. 34-yard lines at 51-yard field goal. You could have scored there. Instead, they get sacked on 3rd and 21, and they have to punt again. And on the 3rd Baltimore possession, San Jose really stepped up and only allowed field goal rather than a touchdown. Good job, guys. We're really rising to the pressure when it matters. San Jose has another 3 and out, and then for the first time, they do manage to force Baltimore to punt. Now we're talking 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter by this point. Baltimore's had 3 straight scoring drives, and then they take 3+ minutes off the clock here and don't score. So at this point, We're talking at 17-0 in the latter half of the second quarter, not the second. It's gonna get worse by the second half. So much worse. In case you don't know, it's bad. It's like, I don't even know. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog graphics for that new movie Bad, which I thought was a joke until I looked it up and found out that was real. And why? Why would you do that? Why? Okay, sorry, I'm having a moment about that. Anyway, so the second half ends with no more scoring. It's exciting. So you're 17-0 at the end of the first half, and if you're San Jose, you're probably thinking, we're losing, but we might have a shot to come back. The Sim loves the dramatic comeback sometimes. It's a big game. We can do this. Nope, actually, I'm wrong. They had to play the result of the safety, so it's actually 19-0. Why is the safety not listed in the same green scoring font as the rest of the scoring? Sorry about that. It's very unexpected. I get emotional about that safety. 2 points. 2 points. I'm going to say this. I'm going to 2 points. Now it looks like there's a mountain on the head. Alright, so we kick off the second half, and it's Baltimore gets held. San Jose gets held. It's looking like not much is happening. And then Baltimore gets the ball back and just boop, 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 and touchdown. And now we're looking at 26-0. It's really bad at this point. And it just, I'm not going to give you like more play-by-play at this point because it really just starts going off the rails here. Just in general, San Jose got the shit stomped in. They got their shit stomped in. Like, it was, like, I'm not sure you should have shown up. I feel like Arizona could have shown up and had a better time. Just saying, could have happened. But that's going to be my review of the game, which can best be described as stop, they're already dead. They didn't, though. They threw a 33-yard touchdown pass with less than 2 minutes to go. They scored twice in the last 4 minutes, actually. Like, that's crazy. So we're going to move on to the next one. So this will mark the ending of the first choppy. This is where you might edit something into screen where it'd be like, next Ultimus thing, but I ain't fucking doing that. We all know it. Alright, rivalries. Here we go. We're supposed to talk about another team, why they're overrated, and why you want them to lose. Gee, what team am I going to pick? What team do I want to lose? Oh, I gotta think about this real hard. Just wondering if there's one that stands out. New Orleans. No, I'm kidding. I don't give a shit. They probably won't lose anyway, but no. Chicago, actually. What? Adam didn't. Yeah, I know I didn't pick that one. Chicago, because in terms of my team, that's our natural rival. Yes, they're in the other conference, but you know, we keep in together. We got our teams together. We drafted together. We, you know, like Tio and I do a lot of talking about drafting and stuff too in the background, so which you guys don't always know. But we're inevitably compared against each other. So they are the natural rival because, you know, culture is just going to force us into a rivalry. It's not like we don't know it. We made that bet a while ago. The first one of us that makes the playoff gets $5 million from the other, which with the playoff system looks like we might just tie, which is fine. We didn't know that at the time. we were just, hey, you know, let's do this. It's fun. We both like to that a little bit. Let's pump up the troops, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, we definitely have a natural rivalry, and I want them to lose for sure to prove that I'm the superior expansion GM. And because I love the Copperheads better, I want Chicago to lose because they should have been Kentucky. I wanted that Kentucky team. That was gonna be great. I liked the pedigree idea. I liked the bootleggers or whatever, the Kentucky bootleggers, I think it was. I liked that idea. I thought it was great. Not a big fan of Chicago. Sorry, Jiggly. I lived in Illinois, so not a huge fan. They've got the Chicago flag logo on them, which always makes me think of CM Punk, and he's an asshole. So I, you know, these high tech sim based reasons why I want Chicago to lose. Um, they're gonna be tough though. They definitely went with a route that we clearly went two different routes in what we're doing. And I don't think people have clearly grasped what both of our plans were yet. Judging by the media, people have kind of been like surface. They picked this person. They picked this person. Here's where they went. Here's a, there was the narrative. This team went all offense. This team went all defense. Um, we, which by the way, initially we picked 4 offense and 3 defense in our draft. In the first draft, we just traded one of the defenders away. We got a really great deal. Uh, so it's a weird narrative. He didn't necessarily have to pick much offense his first time because he knew he had a quarterback in the back pocket, and a wide receiver in the back pocket, and a lot of running backs out there. So I know it's easy to be like, it's exactly what I'm talking about. People juxtapose us. They're always going to, which one of them wins the Ultimus first is going to be a thing, and yada yada yada. But I actually went with a mix of offense and defense the first draft, and the expansive draft with the same mix of offense and defense, even though the narrative will be that we only did defense later. It is what it is. Plus, there's stuff in the works y'all don't know about, plans in the works y'all never knew about. Granted, like 90% of media didn't realize that Joe wasn't a quarterback, and still doesn't somehow, despite us talking about it a lot then, and then him making the quarterback and being the co-GM. You think the co-GM of the team making a quarterback and playing a season in the DSFL as that quarterback would probably clue people in that that team's going to have him as a quarterback. And lately it did. Shout out to Nikki. You at least got that right. So, and a lot of people are criticizing you about the stuff you got wrong in that article, but you got that one right. So good for you. A lot of people didn't. But we definitely have different draft strategies. That's where I started with that, even though I ended up kind of doing one of these, which I did. And I would actually like to see our first Ultimus in several seasons be against each other. I think that'd be cool. That'd be fun. We just shoot up the league like that. That'd be great. But that's its own thing, its own time. I want to see them lose. I want to see sad, jiggly media that has quarterbacks not playing well, because I think it'll be well written and entertaining. I like our colors better. I'm officially required by my co-GM to say down with red teams. It's part of his job, so I'm gonna live up to it. Other than that, I think that covers 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to move on to that next topic, which is, and I'm sorry if this is messing with you back here, whoever happens to be watching this, probably Red. Hi, Red. Going to Disneyland. That's going to be my next one. We're going to talk about the I can't talk today. Talking about the Ultimus MVP. And I'm pretty sure there are 2 options here. 2, even though I'm putting up 1. There are 2 options for Ultimus MVP. Being wrong and Childish Gambino. I chose Childish Gambino. You're allowed to be wrong if you want to. It's a free country, America. So we're not going to talk about his 6 touchdown game. And I know you're looking at that stat sheet going, Adam, that's at 5 touchdowns. He also ran 1. 6. talk about Childish Gambino's trip to Disneyland, or how they celebrate. I picked this in part because Renrut, aka Turner, aka Bobby Bonilla's right hamstring, aka Mantis Toboggan MD, aka Dave. He's in my locker room in another league, and so I get to know the guy a little bit, talk to him a bunch. So I'm thinking, based on that his celebratory trip isn't going to be in Disneyland, and I'm going to try to take the character of Childish Gambino into account here somewhat, but mostly I'm focusing on him. He's coming to Vegas. He's coming to Vegas. And I know that because he was originally going to be coming to Vegas in a couple of weeks anyway. I think that trip got canceled, but Childish Gambino is definitely partying it up in Vegas. He is gambling, drinking. He's smoking the things we have legally available to smoke. He is seeing the shows. He is eating at all the best restaurants. He is just doing everything. He's getting into fake confrontations with Metro, where he pretends they told him to, lay down like Michael Bennett, who I guess doesn't exist in this universe, but I think he is just gonna get out there and have one of those kind of trips where you need pictures and video to tell you what happened later. Which, by the way, I know that was popularized by the movie Hangover, but it was kind of a real thing. I think he's gonna climb a mountain. We have some mountains to climb out here, so he's probably gonna do that. Gambino, the character, feels like someone who would just be like, get drunk and go climb a mountain. Which sounds like either a great night or a wonderful insult. Hey, you, fucking get drunk and go climb a mountain. Fuck off. Or, let's get drunk and go climb that mountain over there. There's actually a mountain right over there that I intend to climb next year, Sunrise Mountain, which is cool. I can see it every day. So I get kind of like a little bit of motivation. And I think the cops would definitely be called at least a couple of times during his trip. Or he'd probably hire some off-duty Metro officers as security. That's the smart way to go with the bridge, by the way. Hire the off-duty officers as your security, so that way if there are any issues, you got your boys right there who are off-duty officers to talk to the on-duty officers. Use your intelligence and your money, and don't kick drunk, racist chicks in an elevator who are also attacking you. That went the direction. Anyway, I think I say 3-4 days in Vegas, and then he's gonna hop a flight to LA. Let's go party out there. He's gonna go to San Francisco. I think he's just gonna do a whole tour of the West Coast. Why the West Coast? I don't know. He fucking plays in Baltimore. He probably wants to be warm, right? Because in theory, the end of the Ultimus season is gonna be like early January with our schedule, assuming we start at about the same time football starts in real life. We only do 14 weeks instead of 16. We do one playoff week in February. There's not a weekly layover. So we've lost 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So instead of the first week of February, we're looking at like New Year's. Ultimus games are probably played right around New Year's, give or take a few days. There's a thing I don't think anybody figured out before. Value added. I don't know what this means. I just like doing it. Just gonna eat this into things. So I think that's what he did. He's just do a whole warm trip to the West Coast. He's gonna go up to the vineyards in Central California and get drunk off his ass while enjoying like being a pretend sommelier. He's gonna go to Seattle, see that it rains, and then like take the flight right back out. What? I'm filming something. Yeah. My dog wants to do a video. Alright, Jason. Alright, I'm on camera. Good. Very good. Yeah, there's nobody up here. Okay. So that's what he's doing. Big West Coast trip, meeting up with his fans, probably avoiding San Jose just a little bit, or maybe he doesn't. He's got a little cockiness to him. Maybe he goes right into the heart of San Jose and celebrates. They're all mad and shit. It's 5 touchdowns. Why are you throwing 33-yard touchdowns with a minute and 56 seconds left? Yeah, I think he'd do it. I think that would be the highlight of the fucking trip. Him going to go to meet the mayor in San Jose and shit like that while they're all trying to pretend to be professional. Holy shit, that'd be funny. Oh, yes, that's what he does. That's it. That's canon. Don't ignore the other stuff. He does the Vegas thing, the LA thing, and then he goes straight into San Jose. Does not go to Oakland because he wants to live. Smart man. That's how you do it, Daisy. That's how you do it. Yes. So that's gonna be the it. That's gonna be the it. You know? English, real good. That's gonna be the end of going to Disneyland. And now we're gonna talk about number 19, expansion teams. Yeah, this is the one I was waiting for. It's probably the only reason I'm actually doing the Ultimus this year is because of this. And because my wife happens to be out of the house today, so it was good timing for me to record a little something without interruption or without anything else. So, expansion teams. We're going to talk about our roster, give some info on the franchise as a whole, talk about next season, our outlook. Yeah, now that we're through our major drafting periods, we definitely went, like I said earlier, the narrative is that we went completely offense to begin with. True. We did go more offense heavy, but a good chunk of that was based on who the people were. We drafted more for user than we did for player, because when you're building a locker room from the ground up, you want to focus on things like that. You want to have cool people to hang out with in the locker room because you're going to spend more time there than anywhere else league-related. That's how you do it, basically. So we got some great people out of that. Dizzy, SD Core, 8th round pick. Welcome back from midterms, buddy. Hamana, although we haven't seen him lately, I'm hoping he'll be back. Knock on wood. We got a lot of people. I mean, we got Joe. Obviously, we got Beaver. I don't want to feel like I'm overlooking Beaver. Beaver was a great addition to locker room. And then expansion draft, we picked up people like TFK and CP Trella, who I've talked to a bunch before across a couple of leagues. And Wannabe Finn, who was Grayson Casella. I had some good combo with him. I think he was going to fit in pretty well. He already has. And then we drafted some other people. There's a couple of people who are inactive in our league that I know from other leagues that actually invited into our Discord. Just come in and say hi, hang out. Even if you don't update, you're just like an IA guy on the bench, fuck it, come hang out. So we focused a lot on that, and I think our roster is pretty good because of it. I know Chicago gets the credit for, oh, look how good this roster is. And it's not like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, his roster's fucking terrible. He had one plan and we had another plan. If you look through our roster page, you'll notice that we went very young a lot of times. He went higher TP and we went young, especially in the expansion draft. He's got his plan, and I can kind of guess what his plan is, and I've got my plan. But I wanted to kind of start a solid team, even with the inactives, but young people with players that are mostly going to have at least a couple of seasons before regression kicks in. So we have that basis we can build from. We have that locker room aspect that we can build from as well. And of course, one particular favorite inactive I took was Spencer Castle, because Asylum Party is one of my favorite people in the league. When he's here, he'll pop back up, I think, or he won't. And I'll get him something while he's not here. But I've won Ultimuses with him on 2 different teams. I actually traded him from the first team to the second team, and then I followed him later, which was not planned at the time, but very much worked out. So I saw he had a decent amount of TP and was young and could serve as a starter. I was like, yeah, get this dude over here. Other than that, just been a lot of talking to people we drafted and kind of letting them know what's going on and what we're hoping for them in terms of like activity and helping people do builds. So nothing too sexy or exciting in terms of building an expansion team. You just gotta straight down the middle, make good ideas, make good choices, just have a plan in place. Which we started out with a specific plan for our offense, a specific plan for our defense, and we can build on that. My outlook for this season is who the hell knows? Like, it's crazy. 4 teams from each conference are going in the playoffs, which I didn't anticipate. I think we could be a 4-win team or we could be a 9-win team. That's kind of where it's based on sim luck, how certain things break down. But I think our plan is good, and I think the guys who are with us know that like season 16 isn't our season. It's not our goal. We didn't build this all so that we could run the gamut now. We built it so that we're competing by 17, 18, etc. We built long term, built to last, and that's always going to be the goal of this team: build to last, build to last. You know, make smart decisions over rash ones, make logical decisions over passionate ones. Don't get caught up in losing a player you really want and screw your team out of a couple of years with the draft picks. Yeah. As a whole, though, I feel really good about this franchise. I fucking love our logo. Shout out to TLK, of course, the most unsurprising expansion draft pick in the entire process. That's my dude. I just think I think we've got a good team. I think we've got a good. I should say we got a good logo. We got a good team name. I really like it. I like our colors. They're unique. They're gonna look good in the sim. I think. Even our alternate color. Sweet got a hold of me the other day. He's like, "Yeah, what's your alternate cover? Everybody else's is black." And I'm like, "Well, fuck that. Mine's not gonna be black." So I picked a different alternate color because I'm a rebel. We've got a good squad, good locker room building, having a lot of fun in there. We've got some rookies coming up in the next draft that I'm pretty excited about. So are some other people. Like the next draft, the season 16 draft, has been getting shit on since like literally the minute the season 15 draft ended. It's here. There's 5 people. There's 10 people. There's 11 people. Whatever it is. People are just they're crapping all over it. They are. But then now that it's time, now that it's real, you see there might be 12, 13, 14 actives. Small, yes, very small, but not what everybody thought it was going to be. And some of these actives are really, really good. I'm not just talking about recreates and GM actives. I think a lot of the brand new players are just. I've had a lot of good conversations. I don't want to be accused of leaking, but I know what the top 2 picks are. And they're both going to be really good. Shout out to you, and also you. You know who you are. I just can't say it right now publicly, but I've talked to both you guys, and I'm excited for whichever one we get. There's all kinds of trade offers going down. I've got 3 teams trying to get my number 2 overall, which is probably not going to happen because I'm going to need to give somebody I'm going to need to get so much back for it so that Joe doesn't kill me dead into the dirt that I don't think any team's going to offer it. We got the number 5 pick too. I've got several people I'm hoping fall there. I'm hoping I have a tough decision at 5. That would be great. Gonna pick up Joe in the 2nd round. So even for a small draft, I'm pretty excited. Season 17's looking really good. Lots of lots of people coming in from our gaming, that big recruitment run we did. What's that? Non-existent information person? Oh, nobody. We got nobody from our game. Really? Nobody? Nobody. Okay. Oh, Matt. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Really though? No our gaming? 0 people from that? My outlook for my team is really good. I'm very excited. Very excited for this team. I really am. Especially with all the trials and tribulations that went through to get here, and all the people we put together, and all the crap I've been getting about the team, because it's at no point in this process has my team been constructed the way people want me to. People outside the team, I should say. Every media piece is about how we lacked at this, or we failed at that, or we didn't accomplish this. And, you know, that's fun. People are just judging things based on the information they know. That's all you can really do. But our outlook within the snake pit is pretty good, and even further than that, in the war room, we're very excited. So that's it. That's the outlook on the Austin Copperheads. Pretty sure I've completed all 4 tasks now. I have. I hope this wasn't super duper mega stupid boring. I'm sure parts of it were, but at least it's not writing the same 200 words. Childish Gambino threw it out of touchdowns. He is the MVP. San Jose's defense was not good. Childish Gambino, blah blah blah. Marquise Brown did everything. He is the real MVP. He's the real. That's probably just left the one Ultimus thing. I won't speculate on who it is, but hopefully at least this option is a little different for you guys who have to watch this and grade it. So on that note, I'm out. Have a good one. Peace. Stay naked. I really should have been closer to the stop recording button when I did that, because that's like my big outro, and then now there's this whole weird pause. So hey, look over there.